For Honor was something special I cherished. It was bold to take a very different approach from its massive titles Ubisoft made. I'm going to be honest, the launch was flimsy, balancing is a massive issue, it's not historically accurate, but who cares? The story wasn't groundbreaking, it wasn't very digestible for newcomers, but I simply say, none of that mattered. I want you to appreciate what For Honor has to offer.
Domini! It doesn't have to be like this!
I took an oath to fight for peace.
Keep the ram moving!
So did you. All of you.
You and your warriors will learn to live like the rest of us! Who do you think you are?
War. I am war. You came into my home. And you brought your armies. What did you think would happen? Peace? That isn't how the world works. Don't speak to me of your virtue. Duty. Kinship. Honor. You've forgotten what you are. All I want is for you to admit what you are. All of you. My wolves.
Firstly, let's take a look at the aesthetics. Every thrust of a weapon and a clang of steel. The movement in armor. And the armor designs are exquisite. Scenery and points of interest are so appealing. The setting and story, the excessive amount of heroes, oh, and don't get me started in the executions.
Better scramble like an egg before you get folded like an omelet.
Soundtrack? Oh, the emotes, the drinking with the lads. What more do you want? Personally, one of my favorite traits in For Honor is obviously the executions. When pummeling your enemy to a pulp, you have an option to execute. The crowning achievement this title alone can pull off are its executions. Firstly, the satisfaction and the volume upon volumes of variations. Everything you see is motion captured, which hence the reason how crispy smooth it performs in game. And I shall say this, For Honor was something that chose to be original, and Ubisoft founded the game further afloat for 4.5 years. Later games like Absolver or Kingdom Come were some of the few examples / similarities, but it's either a solo single player experience or too little too late and sadly faded out. For the last 4 years, For Honor seems to be one of its flourishing brethren, and one of its kind that thrived for a very long time. It is a gemstone with a price. It is not mint condition. From the very title, you knew exactly the inevitable was going to happen. The main elephant in the room is balancing issues. For a very, and I mean very long time, every single new edition of Heroes had a property that was either heavily underpowered during its release or turned crazily strong as time goes by. Some characters got their reworks and changes that were great, but at times they weren't. It was incredibly unnecessary. This game is sweaty, I'm gonna be blunt. 890 hours in, light parry after light parry, extremely fast lights, unnecessary hyper armor, and Orochi's got a fucking kick now? Its combat is linear and is easy to learn and hard to master, but oh my god, how does one react to this and this? But okay, I'm being a whiny ass, I'm going ahead of myself. What about revenge? Yes, I can agree. The revenge system is excellent and it helps even the odds between fights and 1v2s or gang scenarios, but that's the problem. The sweats will literally cheese and wait for revenge to wear off, and the span of what you can do with that revenge, it's already too little too late. These tropes put me into a position where I should like or hate this game. It's Stockholm Syndrome. I don't know what more I can say, my good sir. You know, ladies and gents, For Honor really told me how to accept it for being a bold, medieval combat game, despite the issues and balancing. As much as I want to enjoy For Honor, I do enjoy it, but it's hard to properly appreciate it. For years to come, I really want them to clear and polish For Honor, and especially re-advertise the game probably a little bit more if they get the chance to. I gave my fair chance of disgust and appreciation, but I'll never expect perfection from this game. I just want it to shape itself away from Stockholm Syndrome, but it's nice to see that For Honor was something that it wasn't afraid to try something new, something fresh that was For Honor, and we loved it. We provided quality shitpost, some love, some amazing content creators, and overall community. But my final thoughts on For Honor, 890 hours in, don't worry, I uninstalled it. I'm gonna play some Insurgency afterwards. But I like to think that For Honor always had a special place in my heart, and it will be nice to see it around and polish itself some more. With all that being said, you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night. I tip my hat to you all. And stay tuned.